Would you stop your car if you heard a scream from a house everyone says is cursed? Most people wouldn't, but Thomas Hale did, and that decision rewrote his fate forever. This is not just another ghost story. What you about to hear will change the way you look at every abandoned house you've ever passed. And if you love dark mysteries with endings you'll never see coming, make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon, because what waits inside Hollow Creek House is only the beginning. Thomas Hale was 34, a history teacher with a quiet life. But behind the ordinary man was an obsession with the extraordinary. He loved legends, unsolved mysteries, and the eerie stories whispered in his small town. Chief among them was the Hollow Creek House. People swore they saw lights flicker in its windows, even though no one had lived there in 50 years. Some even claimed the house itself called to people. And that night, on a mist-shrouded road past midnight, Thomas heard it. A scream. Long, hollow, so faint it could have been wind, but so sharp it froze his blood. It came from the house. The porch groaned beneath his shoes as he stepped into the darkness. Inside, the air was heavy, the smell of damp wood and decay pressing in. Yet in the center of the room, impossibly, stood a candle, burning. He knelt down. The wax was cold, solid, untouched, yet the flame still danced. That was the first sign something was wrong. Deeper inside, the house stretched far too long, hallways bending in ways that didn't fit its structure. Then came the second sign, a crooked mirror on the wall. In its reflection, Thomas wasn't alone. Behind him stood a woman in a shredded white dress, her hair falling over her face. When he turned, nothing. But in the mirror, she reached for his shoulder. His breath caught. He smashed the glass with the candle, but even the sound didn't seem real. It came seconds late, as though swallowed first by the house. If you're still watching this with your heart racing, that's exactly why we share these stories. Subscribe now and press the bell icon, because what happens next will make you question every shadow you've ever seen. Above him, footsteps creaked. Slow, heavy, dragging. Thomas climbed the staircase, but with every step he felt he was going down, not up. When he reached the top, he wasn't on another floor at all. He was back in the same hallway where he started. Only now the broken mirror was whole again, and the woman in white was no longer inside it. She was standing at the end of the hallway. Her voice slithered toward him. "Why did you come here?" His legs betrayed him, carrying him closer. The black flame of the candle quivered as her face emerged, skin pale, eyes sunken, mouth stretching wide with jagged glass-like teeth. She opened her mouth, but the scream that filled the hall wasn't hers. It was his own voice crying out for help. That was the third sign. Thomas realized with a sickening clarity, the house wasn't haunted. It was alive. It fed on those who entered, twisting their minds, trapping them in endless echoes of fear. The woman wasn't a ghost at all. She had been someone like him, long ago, devoured until only fragments remained. Darkness collapsed around him as the candle dropped. Dozens of voices swirled in the void, pleading, laughing, weeping. He stumbled for the door, but it never appeared. The walls weren't wood anymore. They pulsed, warm and wet, like flesh. Then came the final scream, raw, tearing through him. He saw himself reflected in the woman's hollow eyes, not as he was, but as he would become. Empty, trapped. A voice forever sewn into the house. By dawn, Hollow Creek Road was silent again. The house stood abandoned, unchanged. Thomas's car sat by the roadside, keys still in the ignition. The door left open, waiting. 2 weeks later, his students received an email from his account. A video was attached. In it, Thomas sat at his desk in class, smiling faintly. But behind him, if you looked closely, the classroom shimmered, the walls bending, bleeding into the twisted hallway of Hollow Creek. His voice was calm, but his eyes begged for help. "Don't come looking for me. Don't go into the house. It isn't empty. It's waiting. And if you've already heard the scream, it's too late. That means it's calling you." The video cut out, but not before the same hollow scream echoed through speakers across the classroom. For days, Students swore they heard that sound following them home. The file couldn't be deleted. Every attempt froze their screens with a single image. The hallway stretching endlessly with a candle burning black. So the question is, if you ever find yourself on a deserted road at midnight and you hear a scream drifting from an old house, would you stop? Or would you keep driving and pray it never calls your name? If you felt chills listening to this story, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon right now, because the scream is still out there, and one night you might be the one to hear it.